The general situation started deteriorating soon after the first month. Starvation, lack of drinking water, lack of washing opportunities, the dirt we lived in caused depressions, despair, and loss of hope. The nerves were deteriorating almost faster than the bodies. Every wrong word resulted in unnecessary disputes and accusations. Our lives became unbearable. As a rule, we did not have to work. We were too weak for that. Occasionally, however, the capos came and selected people for work assignments. One day it was my turn to experience a real slave labor. The main cause of death was dysentery. Starting with October, more and more people died from this disease. It was heartbreaking to see how fast people with dysentery deteriorated. A person was not able to keep any food in the system. Everything passed through in a matter of minutes or even less. The victims of dysentery walked around half-dazed, not hoping or even caring anymore. The epidemic was most visible at latrines. There was almost as much blood on the boards of the latrines as human waste. Many prisoners also suffered from wounds on their hips. On one occasion, I observed a man squatting next to me, cleaning open wounds of his hips with his bare fingers. He was not optimistic about survival. Latrines were at one end already overflowing, causing problems at night. Dysentery does not wait. While trying to reach the latrines in a hurry, some folks missed the boards. I saw one man slipping his hand with his leg into the stench up to his knee. He certainly did not sleep in his tent that night. A state of disaster was reached by early December. Those unable to walk were brought their soups by their co-prisoners. In a few cases, people did not report dead prisoners for one meal and share the dead person's soup. We did not walk around the camp anymore. We were too weak for that. Italian soldiers came to our sector first week of December and started searching select tents. They removed the tents and dug with bayonets into the ground. After half a day, they left. Soon rumors circulated that photos of our camp appeared in Swiss newspapers. In the middle of December, we were visited by 16 officers, 8 in Italian, 8 in other uniforms, including the Red Cross. They took a lot of notes. We could not construct from a few comments we heard what exactly they were looking for. The lowest point was reached on Christmas Day, 1942. We observed the removal of most dead prisoners in a single day. The situation was very scary. We were fully convinced that our end was just a question of time. The day after Christmas brought the first signs of hope. A few prisoners were notified that they are returning home, a few others for transfer to other camps for recuperation before release. Maybe that special committee of 16 officers did recognize what was going on in this camp. Hopes were on the increase. That week and the next, several prisoners were released. January 6, 43, I was standing at my tent when our capo came to me and said, "You are going home." My initial happiness changed immediately to disappointment because my brother Cyril was not included in this message. Cyril was at the time suffering from severe dysentery. Fortunately, late in the afternoon, the capo announced Cyril's release and release of several others. The last night in the tent, we did not get much sleep. Daylight finally came. We said goodbye to our co-prisoners, promised that we will do everything possible for their release. The Italian army trucks took us back to Rab Harbor. We did not pay much attention to the city, even though we realized that this place had nothing to do with what was happening to us. Then the Italian Navy took over. We were lowered into the ship's dungeon. At Rijeka, the sailors lifted us out of the dungeon to the upper deck and off the ship. We were too weak. Apparently the sailors already knew that. They did their job with tact, efficiency, and careful handling of each individual. Many people stood around and looked in disbelief. A few of them were crying. I do not know if these folks were Croatian, Italian, or both. From the Belgijska kasarna to our home in Bežigrad was a long way. We presented a strange picture with no hair, no head cover, with burned out and worn out clothes. A few pedestrians spotted us and asked from where we were coming. It became clear to us that people did not know much about the concentration camp Rab and the conditions there. Then, after another 55 minutes, we were ringing the door at our home. I found out after the war that conditions on Rab were first considerably improved, and later the prisoners were moved to the barracks together with the new arrivals, Jews from the Italian-occupied Yugoslav territories. For many thousands, mostly Slovenes, this change came much too late. My freedom, however, did not last very long. I was fortunate to finish gymnasium early in June. At 3 a.m. in the morning, June 29, 1944, I was arrested at home by the Gestapo and then spent 3 months in Gestapo Ljubljana prison. Forced labor in Germany came next. Part 2, forced labor camp Auschwitz. Before mid-September 1944, when our group was transported from Gestapo prison in Ljubljana to an unknown destination, 3 key events of World War II already took place. Attempt to assassinate Adolf Hitler, July 20th, the Warsaw Uprising, August 1st, and the liberation of Paris, August 25th, 1944.